So lovely. In this video, we're gonna give you model answers and vocabulary about
money.
Money. You see, I'm loaded.
You're also Maria, and I am Rory.
Let's talk about money. Do you spend a lot of money?
Well, I think that depends on what you mean by a lot, to be honest with you. I mean, for example, things like yoga and the gym have pretty fixed prices. So it's not really something you spend a lot of money on. Of course, the fact that I go there when the average person does not means that I probably do spend a lot of money on it. So what I'm saying is it's all relative, really.
Hey, money, dear listener, you should remember that money is. There is a lot of money, okay? Or I don't have much money. We don't say monies are they, no. So money, it is good. Money, what? Means happiness, for example, okay? So we use it, money is good, little money, not much money. Also, a large amount of money, not number. Okay, careful. And what preposition, Rory, do we use? Spend money, shoes. Spend money, clothes.
We spend money on shoes and spend money on clothes.
Right, dear listener, please make sure you use this. I don't spend much money on clothes, okay? Or just, I don't spend much money on anything. But I do spend a lot of money on IELTS Success Premium episodes, dear listener. Yeah, you give us your money and we give you a high IELTS score in return. Okay, it's a win-win situation. Rory goes to the gym and apparently he does yoga.
What do you mean apparently? I definitely do yoga.
So yoga classes have a fixed price. So the price is fixed. Okay, like the price it doesn't get more expensive, for example.
Yes, well, it doesn't seem to get more expensive. It's always been the same price that I've paid for it for the last several years. Whether that's true in other places, I'm not so sure. However, I hate these questions about like a lot. Do you spend a lot of money? Do you eat a lot of food? Because what is a lot? Like a lot for someone could be not so much for somebody else, which is why I answered it in the way I do, because you know, my life for some people might not look very expensive, and yet for other people, they might think, oh my God, he spends a lot of money on lots of different things.
So it's all relative, dear listener, relative.
And if it's all relative, of course, that means that it's all defined in comparison to something else.
If a person doesn't have much money, what can we say? Can I say I'm short of money or I'm short for money?
Short of money? I'm definitely short of money right now.
How do you save money?
Well, right now, I don't save money because I've just bought a house and I'm paying to have it renovated and making all the various repairs to it over the course of time. So that's proving to be a bit of a money pit right now. However, usually when I save money, I have different accounts with different purposes. For example, I have an investment savings account or an ISA. And once the money is in that account, it just stays there and doesn't move. It's kind of like a psychological barrier for me. There's nothing to stop me from doing it apart from the thought of this money is there for saving. My house is a money pit, which is just another way of saying a project that is very financially draining. So ever since I bought this place, I have been spending money on doing it up. For example, you may have noticed that my background has changed because I paid for blinds, which you would think is not expensive, but as it turns out costs hundreds of pounds.
I've just bought a car and it's a money pit because I have to spend money on it, okay? Yeah, even if you haven't bought anything, dear listener, you can just say something like, to use this nice phrase, a money pit. You save money or you don't save money. You can also invest money into something, okay? So, I usually invest money into what? Into our premium episodes. Invest money in yourself, dear listener, and in your high IELTS score. The link is in the description.
And if you want to invest money in other ways, you could get an ISA, an ISA, which stands for Individual Savings Account. This is a kind of account which builds up, well, it should build up more interest over time. compared to a normal current account, which is what most people use to keep their money.
Yeah, because you give your money to the bank and then you have an interest. And interest, kind of the money is there in the bank and they pay you this interest. It's not like, oh, interesting. No. Like interest, some more money because you put your money in there.
It's best not to think too much about it because when you understand what money is and how the concept works, then you just completely lose touch with reality.
So if you say that I've just bought a house, so you can also say that I have it renovated. So when you kind of like change the walls, you kind of like make it better. And this expression means that you pay some other people to do it for you. Okay? You don't do it yourself. So Rory doesn't do anything himself. He just pays money to certain people who do it for him.
I don't do anything for myself. I just work in a different field. So I pay some very nice people. Thank you, Mark and Brian, my plasterer and plumber, who fixed it all for me.
So Rory is having it renovated, okay? Or you can say, I had my house renovated last year, so I had to pay a lot of money.
I did have to pay a lot of money for it. I spent money on it, but I paid for it. And usually you save for something as well. Well, actually, you can save money on something too. You save money for a purchase or so this is in order to buy it. But you save money on something when there is some kind of discount. So this is the money that you have saved.
Did you save money when you were younger?
Well, like a lot of kids, I had a piggy bank and various places to store money and save it up. And my parents tried to cultivate this idea of saving money for a rainy day and getting money together and piling it up in order to buy more expensive things in the future that require you to save over time.
I used to save a lot of money when I was younger. So I used to, but not anymore. For example, at school, I used to save some money, or at university, I used to save some money. And where you put this money in? So at school or at university, maybe like when you were a kid, you have a special thing to put your money in there. What do you call it?
It's a piggy bank.
Yeah, piggy bank. Bank like a piggy is usually like in the shape of a pig or some other animal, so a piggy bank.
Right, okay. I'm sharing this with people on the on trust that no one will make fun of me, because this is a piggy bank that I made when I was a very small child in primary school. Okay, so remember, small child. But the idea of a piggy bank is to have the hollow space with the hole in the top where you save the money and cannot get access to it very easily. So, behold the piggy bank I made when I was young.
Aw, cute.
You can see it's a face. And in the top, there is a hole to put the money. Although how the money is coming out, I have absolutely no idea. But yes, I think I made this when I was very young. It doesn't actually say how old I was. However, obviously, as you can see, this was made by a child. So if I was to try now, it would probably be even worse, frankly speaking.
When you save it for a rainy day.
Which in Scotland is every day.
Scotland, a spirit of its own.
Where it's actually a storm right now outside. There's 50-mile-an-hour gusts of wind. So when you save money for a rainy day, it's like you are saving for the future when you might not have enough money to pay for something, and then it's there for you to pay for it.
And how do you say it? How do you use it in a sentence?
Well, when I was younger, my parents used to encourage me to save for a rainy day. And now, every month, I try to put some money away for a rainy day.
Put some money away. Yeah, you see? So kind of like, do you save money? Well, I usually save money for a rainy day. So kind of I save some money for the future.
There's an even more advanced idiom / phrasal verb for this, and it is to squirrel money away. But that means the same thing. It's like hiding this money away for the future. Squirreling money away. Like the animal, the squirrel.
Yeah, could you give us a sentence?
It's difficult for me to squirrel money away now because I have this apartment to pay for.
Yeah, squirrel. Squirrel like this squirrel money. Nice.
I should say, I love this house. It's just I have to pay a lot of money to keep it in the condition that it needs to be kept in.
You can also say, I usually save up money. Save up, right? Or I never saved up anything. I prefer to save up money. Do parents give pocket money in your country?
Well, they certainly used to give kids a few pounds. pounds are the currency in my country. However, I'm not sure about nowadays. Everything is so expensive and kids are so excessively supervised that probably it's not as popular as it used to be.
Parents give their children pocket money. And Rory told us that, yes, in Scotland, some parents give children pocket money, but now it's not really popular, right? So could you write in the comments in your country, do parents do that? Pocket money? And children are excessively supervised. Excessively, too much. Supervised, controlled by parents, okay?
It's too much supervision.
And here you can use a contrast, some comparison. It's not as common as it used to be. So parents used to give children pocket money, but now, not so much. So it's not that common, so that popular, right? So it's not as common as it used to be. Or maybe it is as common as it used to be, right? I think it's pretty common.
It might be in Russia. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to this so much. I think, like I say, I think things are so expensive now that it's not a thing.
And you also use the word currency. Currency is okay.
Can we talk about the different kinds of currency? What kind of currency do you have?
Yeah. What do you have? I have baht. I think it's called baht. Thai money from Thailand. Okay, so currency.
Starting with the least obscure and moving up, I obviously have $1 American. Cool. I don't know who's on the front. George Washington. Yeah. And in my country we have pounds. I don't have a pound note. This is a dollar bill. In my country they're called notes, the paper form of money. However, I do have the coins here. So these are £2 coins, as you can see. You might not be able to see them very clearly in the glare, but there's £2 coins at 50p. Because usually you have the big denomination like the pounds or the dollars, and then you have the pence, which is the cents, or the pence, which are the smaller units that make up the big one.
Do you use payment apps or mobile payments?
Yes, actually, once, but it was by accident. Because I was holding my phone and my card in the same hand, and I went to tap my card, but I tapped my phone instead. So it made the contactless payment with the phone, and it paid with money from an account that I didn't want to use. It wasn't a huge amount, so it wasn't really a big deal. But ever since then, I have never used payment apps for this exact reason, because I'm just terrified of making a mistake.
Right, so cash is good, but Rory, is it true that today in the UK, they pretty much don't use cash? And if you want to pay by cash, so they say, no, we don't accept cash. So you have to pay with your card or with your phone. Is it true?
Yes. So there are some places that are cashless. We allegedly live in a cashless society, so it's difficult to pay for things with cash these days. I mean, this it's possible this might be a thing that happens more often in England, because, for example, there are some parts of the UK, like Scotland and the Highlands, which don't have great internet connection. So it would be very difficult to make contactless payments there. And that's what you call this kind of payment. You tap your card, and you make a contactless payment.
Yes, dear listener. So contactless payment. Oh boy. Yeah, and what do you do with your card?
You tap it on the card reader. I would show you how to do this, but I'm not showing my bank cards online. That is insane.
So you can say that, I often make contactless payments. Make a payment, okay? Contactless, if you can pronounce it. If you can't, you just say, I pay with my mobile phone. I pay with my smartphone. Or I just pay with my phone, okay? Or I use Apple Pay, I use Google Pay, okay? And just tap my phone and Bob's your uncle. The payment is made.
Of course, there are some parts of the world that don't use cash at all, or contactless payments. They use different things. For example, there are some tribes in Papua New Guinea that pay for things in shells. Not exactly like the one here, but this is a shell. And of course, some people make payments in gold. Now, I don't have much gold. All I have is this gold ring, so I thought I would show that off as an example of a gold thing that you could trade for with.
That's really common. Okay, dear listeners, so have some gold on you.
Or some shells if you're in New Guinea.
Yeah, and payment apps, payment applications, but you just say, okay, like Google Pay, Apple Pay, and just like I pay with my phone. Yeah, I just tap my phone. Or I pay only with cash or by cash.
I would say pay by cash or pay by card, but you can pay for things with cash and with cards as well.
Dear listener, let us know, do you use cash? Do you use any contactless payments? Write in the comments, okay? And if you want more grammar and vocabulary from us, check out our premium episodes. That's a real bargain, okay? For your high IELTS score. The links are just there.
Bye.
Bye! Money.